Hello, I'm here to explain this application that I developed, and it's about APIs in React using hooks. It's kind of like a way of filtering through data that is displayed inside API. Okay, if you go to this URL, this website, neapa.com, you'll find there is this get API for getting book volumes, and actually it's a Google API. So and there's a lot of explanation on the usage here. You might, if you want, you can just go visit this website and study it. But I'm just going to explain how I implemented this website. Okay. Uh, so there is this parameter called q, which is a string, and what it does exactly is it does full text search query on the data that is in the API. For instance, let me come here and search river and the source and the source. You can see there is a list of details that are from the API, and they're displayed on pub and are populated in the table. So you find that this is the book I was looking for, by Margaret E. A. Agola, who is an East African publisher. The published date was 2000. And so you find that it displays the book and the details that are in the API. The empty boxes actually are that means that the data is missing in the API. For example, the description here for these two books, they are missing. But this one has a description. This one, all of them, almost all of them, don't have subtitles. That's why they are empty. So you find that this is the real book that we're looking for, the river and the source. So so what someone may ask, what are these other books? Um, if you see here, the publisher is from East African publishers. This is just also, if you see here, there is Ken Walibora, Sahid Ahmed Mohammed, then there is Timothy Arege. You find that these are East African writers, those who write literature. So this is just a relation, I mean, related books that are displayed from the API library. I mean, the volumes, from this API endpoint. So you find that this API displays books that are related. The Google tries as much as possible to display to you something that is related. Okay, let me try and search data structures. And that if you search for data structures, it will display uh, almost all the books that are related to data structures. You can see they have data structures in it. I mean, it explains it explains data structures in it. So that is the functionality. It might sometimes display in terms of the order, relationships, or the types of books, like in a shelf. Maybe when you're in a library, there are there's a shelf which contains books of specific kind. For example, it can be computing books, it can be literature books. Yeah, so that is how the API works. All you need to do is to type what you want to search, then hit enter, and then the table will be populated. Okay, so now on the technical part of it, let me try to explain the application. This one is there's a CSS file which is imported here. That is from app.css here. That's the styling. So what is done here is there is the URL, which is the API that I took from the site here. Okay. Then now there is these are hooks, use states actually. These are use states. I mean, they are used to manipulate the data from the user that is entered from the user, and it's passed as q here as the param, as the value of q, that so that it can be used to filter the data from the API. Then here is an event search book. So when you hit enter, it checks. It always checks if the key is enter. When you hit enter, this what happens. There is this actions library that fetches that particular data. Then it's loaded into this use state, this hook. Then from there now, it gets mapped to the front end with this function. Okay, that is it. Hope you've understood. Great.